How's it going, guys? Well, today I'm going to be shorting my 950 KTM Super Enduro's aquapobic exhausts. I'm shorting them just for looks. I'm going to be cleaning up the tail section of that bike quite a lot, and the long exhausts just aren't going to work. So I'm going to be taking off about 12 centimeters today. Really depends on what you want to do. I'm not going to get into how it affects the motor and all that crap and loudness. I'm just going purely for looks. Really don't care about the other two right now. But I've already done my other one. It looks pretty good. So hopefully this one's going to be an absolute breeze, and it'll be quite a short, quick video showing you how to basically shorten your bikes and improve the look of your exhaust. Right, the first thing I'm going to do is measure my cut line. And yeah, so like I said, 12 centimeters. So I'm going to start the cut from the back of the exhaust, pretty much because my exhaust, I'll show you a bit here, it's got a lot of damage and some scratches here. So really aesthetically, if I take 12 centimeters out from that section, the exhaust is probably going to look better. Now I'm going to mark 12 centimeters around at each of the pop rivets. And then I'm going to use tape to create my cut line. Now guys, this is pretty just rough and as rough as it probably is going to get when doing one of these exhaust chops. I'm just showing you the quick and fast way. Right, so I've got my masking tape now. I'm going to put the masking tape on this side of the line, so that when I cut, I know I'm cutting 12 centimeters exactly. Again, this doesn't have to be like 0.5 millimeter precision, because when you put it back on, the lip here will cover any bad cuts. But obviously I'm trying to make it as straight as possible. I think, as the saying goes, measure once, cut 5 times. I don't know, maybe. But as you can see, I've got my line there to cut. Alright, safety first. Luckily, because of COVID, I have heaps of masks. Because there's exhaust packing and stuff in there, if you cut this, which I've already done in the past, there's so many fibers, the titanium, well, these are titanium exhausts anyway, there's a lot of light fiber. You really inhale it and then you're basically blowing out all that shit for the next 2 days. So obviously eyewear and earmuffs, that's a given as well. So I'm going to cut on this side, so then it doesn't matter if I go in a bit or out a bit, I'll always be around that 12 centimeter mark. So I'm going to cut to the right of this black tape now. I'm not going to cut all the way through the exhaust, because there is a perforated metal tube in the center, and then the packing is around that tube. I'm just going to cut around, and then hopefully this part will just slide out. The perforated tube will slide out as well. And then I'll deal with cutting the packing down and stuff like that once it's all out. Here we go. Alright, I'm just going to check quickly that I've actually cut through everywhere. Seems like it. Alright, perfect. Can confirm with that cracking noise we're through. Alright. Alright, I'm going to go back on my words there quick. I'm going to actually drill out the pop rivets first. So I'm going to drill out these pop rivets to take this section off, because obviously that's then going to go onto this side. So I'm just going to quickly do that before removing before removing the packing out. While it's all still intact, I'm just going to quickly drill these out. Okay. The only thing though is that all I've done there really is remove the head of the pop rivet. So I now actually really should try and drill out the inner section. I'm going to quickly just take this off. There is an overlap section here on these acros. As you can see, it just comes off. Okay. And so that's just the ring that we'll pop rivet on later. Okay, I'm going to chuck my mask back on because this shit's deadly. Honestly, this shit's crap. Alright, look at that. Wow. I'm going to quickly just give these a snip. Snip, snip. This is the shit you don't want to be breathing in. Fuck that. Very nice. Boom. Look at that. So, that is effectively what my new exhaust is going to be. It's going to be that size. So, you can see quite a big section taken off. And all we're going to do now is remove this section, sliding that off. We're then going to reduce this side down. So we're going to take 12 centimeters off here, and then we're just going to slot it back in. So I'm going to just tidy this shit up first, and then we'll start to remove this. To get this section off, rather than trying to get a screwdriver under and lift it off from the bottom base section, I find it easier just to grind it right up to that point. And because it's titanium, it seems to actually rip pretty easily, and you can just crack it off. So I'm going to give that a go now. Let's see how successful we are. Okay, done. Just slid right across there. Opens up just like a can. Boom. Can throw all this shit away. You can see here closely how the pop rivets are still in there, so I'm going to have to drill those out so we can put the new rivets in. Okay, I just throwed that shit away, and this is what you're left with. Now, at the beginning, that's why I said to you, I'm not going to just cut straight through it. If I did that, I'd have two different sections of this perforated inner tube that the packing sits around. By doing this, I can just now grind off 12 centimeters. I'm shouting because I've got the earmuffs in. So I'm going to grind off 12 centimeters of this, maybe back the steel mesh around just a little bit to emulate what's here as per stock. And then really, after I drill these pop rivets out, we should just be able to slide this back in, make sure this is orientated the right way, but it should just slide back in there like that, pop rivet it, and put it straight back on the bike. Let's see if that actually happens. It will. I've already done it. Don't worry. actually, you know what? Let me use a punch. Maybe, just maybe, I can spare some life in my drill bits and just use a punch. Let's see, why not? Let's have a go. Let's have a crack. Too easy, too easy. Come on, Luke. Why didn't you think of that earlier? Hammer time. So if you don't have a punch, drill them out, but that's obviously far quicker. Alright, so next I'm just going to mark out 12 centimeters. I'm not going to do the masking and taping like I did before, because there really is no point. There we go. So now that I've reduced the length of this, I'm going to slide it in. So what I've done here now is I have knocked the top cap in, and I haven't knocked it all the way up, just knocked it in just enough so that you can still see the original holes for where the pop rivets will go through. And I've marked on each pop rivet hole onto this outer shell of the exhaust. So now what I can do is knock this top section all the way in. Alright, so I'm just going to tap this all the way in now. Right, cool. Anyway, there it is with the side camera. Now, it's obviously much shorter now. Looks awesome. Pretty good size, to be honest. Now, I can bring this back into the picture. I'm going to check on the original one where it overlaps, and it overlaps down here. So I'm just going to make a quick mark so I don't forget. Now, before I was saying I was going to measure this clearance and figure it out, but what I've realized is that I already have that measurement with this band. So all I'm going to do is extend these lines that I've already marked out. And now, when I go to drill, as long as I drill the first one in place, all the others will align and I'll know where the center is. So I'm just going to go ahead and drill the first one out, and I'll put a pop rivet in there, and I'll just work my way around for the rest, and we should be good to go. I'm just going to get my little punch out so that the first hole I drill is spot on. Alright. I'm going to start with a 3mm drill bit first, and I'll work my way around. Well, I'll then go to the 5 because the pop rivet I'm using is a 4.8. And then I'll go up to the 5. Would help if I set the torque correctly and my drill through. All right, now I'm just going to quickly get my pop rivet out And so this is the 4.8 we're going to be using. You'll see with the 5mm hole goes straight in there. Now, I'm not going to bore you with me doing every single hole, but I'm going to go around now and re-drill all those pop rivet holes, and then the next step will be to put this band back on. Alright, as you can see now, I've drilled out all the holes. It was pretty easy. It's like I said, as soon as you just put this band on, you can see all the holes are there. You just drill through the band, and the holes are in the stock places. So now I'm going to quickly chuck all the pop rivets in just to hold that plate in before I start riveting it. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if I've stuffed it up. Okay. Okay, so lastly, we're going to rivet this baby. Well, I've got my largest nozzle because this can only take 4.8. That is the max. It takes us about 3 squeezes with this one to get it to go off. So I'm just going to take them all to 2 squeezes, and then I'll go around again and finally rivet them. Okay, this is the last loose one. Here we go. And it'll be the first one we try and actually rivet. Oh no. She needs a 4th go. Alright. Can't wait to see the face I pull when I'm doing riveting business. Okay. And there you go. One shortened Akrapovic KTM 950 Super Enduro R exhaust. Looks pretty good. And everything looks pretty good actually. Yep. Even the band placement, you can see it's in the stock position. So I'm going to mount this to the bike now, and I'll have 2 nice shorties, and then in a future video I'll be trimming the undertail section of the 950 to give it a bit more of an enduro look. But anyway, I hope this helps some of you guys out there that are looking to do this, even on your sports bikes. Any old bike really that has those massive exhausts. Most bikes these days, the exhausts are quite small anyway. But I hope you enjoyed this video and hope it's helped you somewhat.